Hello everyone, it's Monday afternoon, 12:35. Oh, I'm almost on time. Welcome to this midday practice called the Blissful Warrior. It's yoga, it's meditation, it's mindfulness. It is a practice in resilience. Certainly we've been hearing a lot of that word lately, and I'd like to take a moment to tell you what I mean by resilience. First of all, who am I? I'm Rhonda Uretsky, and I am the owner of Riverflow Yoga. Riverflow Yoga has been a hot yoga studio located in Lambertville, New Jersey for the past 10 years. And yet on March 21st, we closed our front doors and we opened up the doors to our virtual studios, myself and the many teachers of Riverflow Yoga who are here on Facebook Live and have been here every day since that day in March, bringing you our favorite yoga practices. Hot yoga in some cases, and yes, you can practice hot yoga with a qualified teacher and a little heater and a little private space in your own home. And Yoga Nidra, which is a beautiful practice of guided sleep if you've been having difficulty sleeping, and who hasn't. This is a beautiful way to do some progressive body relaxation and ease you into a restful sleep. And then there's this practice called the Blissful Warrior, which is a practice that I have curated over my 45 years of practicing and teaching yoga and teaching other teachers and leading yoga retreats, and generally being lucky enough to have encountered many different kinds of practices which all in my mind fall under the category of soothing yourself, which is what I mean by resilience. Sometimes we think of resilience as being able to go through hard times, right? To take a punch and come up standing. And certainly there's some merit to that. But I think that there's something beyond that. We don't just want to go through challenging times. We want to come out or be in those challenging times having a sense of certainty that there is something here that's going to expand, that there is some other side of this. There's some expansion or development that will happen for ourselves individually, and maybe even in the case of what's going on right now in this pandemic that we're experiencing globally, expansion for everybody who's involved in this pandemic. You know, I've heard people say we're all in this together, and then other people argue that we're not all in this together since we all have different starting points, but we are all in this life together. Of course we all have different starting points. Of course we all have different places where we are right now. But we are all in this experience of life together. And we are all experiencing this pandemic as a global community. I read something that I would really love to share with you. It's from New York Magazine. Let me give the author credit, Andrew Sullivan. So Andrew Sullivan says, "And this will change us. It must. All plagues change society and culture, reversing some trends while accelerating others, shifting consciousness far and wide, with consequences we won't discover for years or decades. The one thing we know about epidemics is that at some point they will end. The one thing we don't know is who we will be then." So in a very personal way, this pandemic starts and ends with how you react to it. What kind of resiliency you can call upon within yourself to be present, to have the courage to be present in this unprecedented moment in global history, and to act within this moment in a way that makes you feel like you are yourself. Certainly, you will have moments of frustration and anger and lashing out and participating in debates that will make you feel like you shouldn't have afterwards or even during. Certainly, we all have knee-jerk reactions based on our past habits to the things that we encounter. And we are encountering a lot of chaotic situations around us. But underneath that, underneath the knee-jerk reaction, there is a resiliency that you have, that you can now cultivate, that you can uncover your awareness of and that you can practice into being your dominant way of behaving. And that, my friends, is what we are doing here in this midday practice. I love to say that the middle of the day I find to be the best time for this practice. You've already had your morning. Maybe your morning has already had some chaos to it, or some activation or aggravation, some situations that feel challenging. And you have the rest of the afternoon and evening ahead of you. And who knows what that portion of your life will bring. But you are here, right here, at the crossroads, at this turning point, at this ability to pivot right here in the middle of the day, and to perhaps guide yourself deliberately towards a better feeling you. Bringing that soothed sense of who you are into the rest of your day, even if it only lasts for a half an hour or 5 minutes, or maybe the rest of the day, will certainly give you the results that you're looking for, more so than being stressed and panicked and aggravated and irritated. You know, on the one hand, all of those things just don't feel good. At their base level, you know that there's something off about the way those things feel to you, even if the conditions around you warrant that kind of a reaction. It just doesn't feel like yourself. It just doesn't feel good in your own skin. And don't beat yourself up for reacting that way. Again, we are living in unprecedented times, and you are perhaps coming upon conditions that you've never faced before. And so your reactions will be whatever they will be. But when you are resilient, you're able to bring yourself back into this place of home that I promise you were born with. You have it inside of you. And perhaps you haven't called upon it in a long time. Perhaps even before this pandemic, you lived a life that had lots of anxiety and stress and not enough time and too much to do and too little money in your bank account and lots of dissatisfaction and all sorts of things that you had knee-jerk reactions to, that there never seemed to be any time for you to step back and develop this resilience, to cultivate this resilience that really is your birthright. And so here we are in the middle of the day. And I know sometimes people tell me I don't even have this amount of time to do this practice. But I'm going to suggest that you don't have time not to. If this practice will give you what I promise you that it can, the ability for you to feel like yourself, like you are deliberately making the decisions in your own life for the way you react to things, then do you have the time to not cultivate this resilience that will help guide the way the rest of your life feels starting right now? Now, I know this sounds a little daunting. How do you begin to pull yourself back from so much habitual reaction? And certainly the past 5 months has exacerbated whatever stress or anxiety you might have been feeling before the situation became this unprecedented. But I promise you that this is a simple practice. It's not easy in that it does take practice. Your initial leanings will be towards your old habits, and you have to recognize and accept that about yourself. And don't beat yourself up for failing to be able to pull yourself back into this place of quiet. In fact, give yourself a whole bunch of gold stars for being here right now and making the commitment to yourself to be a blissful warrior. And what do I mean by a blissful warrior? Well, you're going to be a warrior indeed, but not about the pandemic, not about whether you send your kids to school or not who you vote for in November. You're going to start by being a warrior about your own commitment to your own sense of bliss. And you don't have to jump from depression to bliss. In fact, it's unlikely that you will. It depends on where you're starting from. You're simply looking for the next better feeling. A feeling of being soothed and relieved in this present moment will help you to remember your complete empowerment to be in charge of the way you act and the way you react to whatever conditions might be around you. And then, although you might recognize that you're not in control of the conditions, you actually are and have always been 100% in control of yourself. And isn't this the self that goes out to experience the conditions? And perhaps the way that you are, the way that you approach the conditions makes all the difference in the way your life feels to you, and perhaps even then in the way that you impact others around you, especially your family members, especially your children. If you have young children or school-age children right now, maybe it's wonderful that they have you at home to set this example of how somebody behaves when they are really looking to regain control of their own self. So, as I said, this practice is simple. We are not going to do anything that's outside the realm of physical limitations. No contortionist poses here, no crazy yoga twists or pretzel poses. We are going to do some yoga when it's appropriate. We are going to do some breathing, which is always appropriate, and yet we will do it deliberately. And we are going to focus on soothing and quieting. And so I'm going to offer you an array of practices day by day that have one intention, and that is to make you know that you can feel a little bit better in this present moment than you did just a moment before. No matter what that moment before was feeling like. Everything from hopelessness and despair and deep depression to optimism, stability, groundedness. It doesn't matter where you start. You can gently, easily climb this emotional ladder to the place of blissful warrior, where you are completely in control of your own reactions and thus your own life. What a beautiful lesson for your kids to learn. There are some things that don't get taught in the school building. Some things that as parents or grandparents or aunts, uncles, whoever you are to the children in your life, there are some things that children still look to you. And children don't so much look at your words. They look at the way you act. And so does your own nervous system. You can walk around with a big smile on your face saying that everything is okay, but your nervous system knows better. Your nervous system knows how you are really feeling. And so we're going to soothe that nervous system, and we're going to see how that changes the way you feel as yourself. So let's arrive in this practice by drinking some water. If you've been joining me here for the past, one of these days I'll count, but I think we're up to about, we might be edging into 140 days now, then you know the first thing that we do is drink some water. So I'm going to reach over here and grab my bottle. I have been giving people a 30-day challenge. I'll repeat it for the people who are here new for the first time today. If you will drink half your body weight in ounces of water every day for the next 30 days and just sit back and observe what happens. Observe the way you feel. If you notice any differences in your physical or your emotional demeanor, if you start to notice some changes in the texture of your hair or the glow in your eyes or your energy levels, anything at all, I promise you can attribute it to drinking more water. You are 90% water on a physical level, and as you continue to replenish with water, you keep this beautiful flow happening through your physical body. So, let's grab some water and start by drinking a little. I usually drink a lot, so I could probably go through, let's see, I'm at half a bottle right now. I could go through the rest of this bottle as we sit here for the next minute or two. And you know, as I do these things and offer you these practices, I'm not telling you about my practice in order for you to look up to me or emulate me. I'm telling you the things that I do that really do feel on a very deep level like soothing. And I invite you to try them. I might be a yoga practitioner for 45 years, and maybe I have some level of mastery in certain areas, but I am not the authority of you. You are. And so I'm here to offer you not rules, not things that if you don't do will be wrong. I'm here to offer you, I'm sharing with you my practices and offering you an opportunity to try them on. And notice if in doing these things you feel more soothed. You know, for some of us, for some people, it's been a long time since you felt better, a long time since you felt soothed. So I'm going to suggest that here's a way for you to know if something feels better. If when you do it, it sort of makes you breathe a sigh of relief, that's a little bit better. And if when you do it or even think about doing it, you feel clench, you feel an instant recoil, and it's really a quick feeling, then it's not soothing to you. It doesn't matter if all of the most experienced yoga teachers or scientists or doctors or dietitians tell you that this is the rule that works. Try to look at everything that you're offered as advice for the master. You are the master. And these little bits of knowledge and information are things for you to try on and see if they resonate for you, if they will add to your sense of resilience, or just give you one more thing to beat yourself up about. I have been teaching yoga students, I should say students, people of all ages from nursery school to seniors for many, many years. And I repeat this over and over again. As much as I love to have people in my classes and love to have people come to the studio, if you are doing a practice that does not feel good, that you don't look forward to with joy, that you don't feel soothed during and after, it will not do you any good. You are offering resistance to that practice. And no matter what the empirical scientific data says about how good this practice might be for you, it is not resonating for you at this time in your life. So leave it without any guilt, without any berating or beating yourself up, and keep searching for the practices that when you try them on, just like couture, right? Just like a beautiful piece of handmade clothing, when you try it on, it's a perfect fit. There are perfect fits for you, and they will change. Right? As your body changes, your style, your perfect fit changes. And so as your life changes and expands, the things that you did yesterday that felt good might not be soothing today. Be okay with that. It doesn't matter that you adhere to rules or that you follow somebody else's idea of what's right for you. It matters that you show up in the present moment, resolved to be a blissful warrior, to be adamant that nothing in your life, conditions outside of you or inside of you, are strong enough to knock you off of your place of feeling good. On that note, I'm going to take some more water, and if you'd like to, I invite you to. Now, I know if you haven't been drinking water a lot consistently, drinking a lot of water is a new practice, and in this moment, might not feel that great. So, if you are moved to take another few sips with me, I invite you to do so. Okay, so here we are. You have arrived. You have decided that you are going to take this time to explore what it means to be a blissful warrior, to try it on and see if it resonates, and to see if it offers you a place of soothing for the rest of your day, or for the 5 minutes after this practice is over. Sometimes that's enough. So have a seat. Sit on the ground if you'd like. If you're sitting on the ground, I advise a cushion under your butt. Here's a really comfortable way to learn to sit on the ground. Grab a cushion, put it under your butt, slide yourself to the front edge of the cushion so that your hips tilt down and your knees also tend to tilt down a little bit. And then place your hands, palms on your knees, backs of your hands on your knees, palms in your lap. Find a place where your arms feel rested. If you'd rather not sit on the floor today, then sitting in a chair is a great option. As you sit in a chair, you get to place both feet flat on the ground, and you are calming your nervous system. Your nervous system, think of it like this beautiful glitter wand inside of you. As it gets activated, it starts moving around in lots of directions, and you can feel the chaos of this as nervousness, tension, anxiety, worry, fear, lots and lots of things. But sometimes the nervous system gets set off by no danger, things that really aren't life-threatening, and yet you still react as if they are. Well, placing both feet on the ground can instantly calm that nervous system as you look around and notice you are actually in a safe place. If you're someone who has to sit in front of a computer during the day for work, involved in Zoom meetings, and maybe there's lots of triggering things that go on in the groups that you're meeting with. So you can feel the activation within yourself. You can feel the frustration or upset rising. Place both feet on the ground. Place both palms on your thighs. Give your nervous system a chance to settle in and realize that there's nothing dangerous going on here. And then when you participate in those meetings with other people, you'll show up as yourself. That's the best contribution that you can make. Maybe you'd rather not sit at all. Okay then, lie down. I'm certainly not going to stop you from choosing what feels the most soothing. I encourage you to lie down on your back, arms at your sides, palms facing up. Tuck your chin slightly, let your heels touch and your toes flop apart. All of these little nuanced movements really give your body a chance to align. Alignment feels beautiful. Alignment is another word for resilience and resonating. So as your body aligns, your nervous system again is calmed by a sense of well-being and alignment within your body that just feels, there's no other word for it, it feels delicious. And so we are going to do a lot of this beautiful body alignment as we move into this practice. So you have chosen your way to arrive, sitting on the ground, sitting in a chair, lying on your back, and choosing the position for your hands that feels most comfortable. And you've had your sips of water, and now we're going to move into some deep breathing. So it might seem a little bit counterintuitive to be told that we're going to breathe deliberately. You are breathing all the time. It's the first thing you did when you entered this world. It's the last thing you'll do before you leave. And yet there is a way of focusing your attention on breathing deliberately and deeply that will connect this sense of resiliency in your body, in your nervous system, and in your emotional state. That is the result of the two, the nervous system and the body being in alignment. So, I'm going to find my position for my hands. I actually like to also place this furry little pillow under my ankles. So I'm going to find my place of feeling my most soothed. And sometimes you just feel around for it. Where do my hands, when I rest my hands, where do I feel most relieved? So for me right here today, it's palms on the knees. Now gazing forward, if you are sitting in a chair or sitting on the ground, I invite you to gaze directly in front of you, but more like you're gazing out of the tops of your eyes than the centers of your eyes. So notice what happens to my chin as I shift my gaze. Most of us have a chin thrust, and this is just anatomically straining on the neck. So if you shift your gaze so that you're looking out of the tops of your eyes, you'll notice that your head sort of comes back into place on top of your neck rather than being far forward of your neck. You can actually move your head back. Imagine this bowling ball resting on the slinky of your spine. And notice that as you're looking ahead of you out of the tops of your eyes, you feel emotionally softer. If you're lying on the ground, your eyes are open, but rather than looking at the ceiling, shift your gaze down the center of your body. Maybe you see the center line of your body, maybe you don't, but that's where your gaze is in order to get the same soft feeling emotionally and aligned feeling anatomically. Now we're going to breathe in and out through the nose, keeping the mouth closed, and as you breathe, you'll hear a loud, resonating ha sound in the back of your throat that you are deliberately enhancing. So as you inhale the ha sound, as you exhale the ha sound. So let's begin. Inhale. Feel your thoracic cavity fill, your rib cage. Pull your collarbones wide apart. Now this is another way of saying pull your shoulders down from your ears, but I don't want you to have this hard tugging feeling of the shoulders down. I'd like you to have the sensation that your collarbones are being pulled from side to side. So your shoulders come down just the right amount. Your chest opens wide for this breath. And then exhale. Keeping your collarbones wide, your hands relaxed, your fingers naturally curled, your gaze looking out of the tops of your eyes or down the center line of your body. Empty your belly and drop your tailbone straight down. Now that's a lot of instructions on the inhale and exhale. Notice they are simple, and notice that you can keep your breathing coordinated with these instructions. Inhale. Loud ha sound, collarbones wide, chin dropped a little bit, gaze softly focused out of the tops of your eyes or down the midline of your body if you're lying down. Balloon your belly out, relax your hands, and exhale. Loud ha sound in the back of your throat. Collarbones still wide. Notice if you're lying on the floor and your collarbones are pulled wide, you can feel your shoulder blades stabilized on the ground under you. Drop your belly, drop your tailbone, and then tuck your tailbone up a little towards your navel. Feel this little lift in your chest. Inhale. Collarbones wide, soft gaze, hands relaxed. Balloon your belly out. Exhale. Empty your belly. Drop your tailbone. Tuck your tailbone up towards your navel. If you're sitting on the ground or in a chair, when you do this little tuck, it almost feels as if you're hovering yourself a little bit over the ground. How delicious is that? Inhale. Exhale. Empty your belly. Shift your gaze. Relax your hands. Drop your tailbone. Tuck your tailbone towards your navel. Inhale. Just beginning to feel a little more stable in your body now. Collarbones stay pulled wide. Hands completely relaxed. Exhale. And one more. Inhale. Continue to hear that sound in the back of your throat, like Darth Vader breathing really loud. Collarbones wide. Exhale. And drop your tailbone and tuck the tailbone slightly up towards the navel. And just sit here for a moment and feel what you feel. Notice if you feel quieter, calmer, a little more stable. Maybe you came here to this practice with some agitated thoughts on your mind. Notice that they feel almost veiled. You feel as if they've been grayed out a little bit. And this pervasive sense of soothing seems to be the most dominant feeling right now. And exhale. So in this moment, you have awakened some resilience inside of you. You didn't have to work at it. In fact, it was the opposite of work. It's the opposite of effort and struggle and forcing and making yourself do it, having it on your to-do list. It's simply folding back into who you really are and noticing that who you really are is someone that you like being around, someone that feels like a pleasant person to have with you. And this is the person you have with you all day, every day. So what might it be like to take this person, this state of soothing, into some action? You know, we live in a world where we don't sit in meditation all day. We go out into the world and we have action journeys, things that we encounter. And so how would it feel to have this sense of calm, this blissful warrior out there acting in the world on your behalf? Well, let's move into some yoga poses to test that out, using the body for movement to see how it feels to come from this place, this blissful warrior place of resilience, and to move the body. So we're going to move into some yoga poses right now. And as I promised, no great prowess is needed to do these poses that we're going to do, just the willingness and the determination to feel soothed in every move that we do. So as I guide you through these poses, being very, very careful about the nuanced alignment of your body, I invite you to feel the soothing of it, and if anything feels painful, you simply back that pose down a little bit into the place of soothing. Do not, under any conditions, settle for pain, for allowing your body to be thrown out of its place of home base, this place of resilience. I know, again, there are many practices that will tell you that pain builds character and pain builds strength. I won't speak to those practices, but I can tell you that this is not one of them. We here as Blissful Warriors are under the experimentation of how soothing builds those very things that you thought you had to really work hard at. Let's try something different. We're living in different times. There's never a better time for you to try something different, because ask yourself honestly, have those other things really worked? Has beating yourself to a pulp, whether physically or emotionally, has that ever helped you to feel happier? Let's try something else, a new practice for the new times that we are now experiencing. So we're going to lie down. If you are sitting on a cushion, just pop that cushion out. If you are sitting on a chair, come join us on the floor. If you are already lying on your back, well, there you are. Let's everybody lie down on your back. Glancing at my camera from time to time, just to see that you can see what's happening here. Now, you might not be looking at the camera at all. Hopefully, when you do these poses, you're simply listening to the instructions and allowing your body to respond to the best of your ability today. Hold yourself back from pushing yourself. I promise you there is no gain in pain, and there are no gold stars for injury. There is only soothing as you take this practice step by step and allow it to put a shine on that resilience that's inside of you. So this beautiful pose is called Shavasana. Arms at your sides. Slide them further from your body rather than closer. It's my experience that when the arms are close, you feel more tense, and as you slide them further away, you tend to relax. Try it. Your heels are pointing inward and lightly, ever so lightly touching. You allow your toes, your feet to flop out to opposite sides of the room, your kneecaps to also flop out, your hips to feel completely relaxed. Pulling your collarbones wide while you're down here on the floor gives you this beautiful sense of grounding in your shoulder blades and an ability to tuck your chin and feel the really delicious soothing of stretching your cervical spine. Your gaze is down the middle of your body rather than to the ceiling. And let's take some breaths. Inhale, balloon your belly out. As you exhale, deflate the balloon of your belly keep your collarbones pulled wide. Drop your lower back down as if there's a hand that got slipped under the small of your back and you're being asked to drop into it. Inhale. Balloon the belly out. Keep your collarbones pulled. Keep your eyes open. Exhale. Deflate the belly. Drop your lower back last, keeping your gaze focused downward. And inhale. And exhale. Maybe you can begin to feel a sense of lightness in your body. Maybe you don't. Don't ever beat yourself up for what you think you're supposed to be feeling. Just enjoy whatever you feel and notice that this is the direction of soothing yourself into the well-being that you're looking for. Let's do Pavanamuktasana, wind-removing pose. Now this is a beautiful pose that anatomically opens your hips, massages your digestive system, and soothes your nervous system as it elongates your spine. So that sounds like a lot of work, and yet it's extremely simple. So as you inhale, bend your right knee towards the ceiling, place the sole of the right foot on the ground. Just take a moment here with the sole of the foot on the ground, and as you exhale, drop your lower back. Inhale, slide your arms close to your body. Feel the tension as you start to reawaken your arms, pulling your fingertips towards the wall in front of you, tucking your chin towards your throat, bending your right knee to your chest, bend your elbow tips and clasp all 10 fingers, including your thumbs, 2 inches below the right knee. Bring your elbow tips in your waist, relax your outstretched left leg. As you inhale, collarbones wide, shoulder blades on the mat, chin tucked. As you exhale, begin guiding your right knee towards your right armpit. So feel yourself go around the rib cage a little bit as you guide the knee to the armpit. And feel that little pinch in your right hip. This is cutting down the blood supply for a moment in that hip. So there's a lot of momentum of energy and blood flow building up behind that place. Feel that stretch deep in the left hip. Feel these sensations as the freedom-feeling sensations that they are. You keep your elbows in your waist, elbows towards your hips, as your shoulders draw down from your ears. Inhale. Exhale, maybe a little more pressure from the webbing of the fingers as the right knee is guided towards the right armpit. Now, whether the knee falls into the armpit or not is irrelevant. Enjoy the sensations of soothing and aligning in your physical body. This feeling of freedom, so soothing. And then change. Sole of the right foot on the ground, arms at your sides far from your body, palms up, and slide your right leg out to meet the left. And again, notice the sensations you feel in your hands, in your arms. It's a sense of lightness. This is your nervous system at rest, that sense of lightness. Inhale, bend the left knee, place the sole of the left foot on the ground. Maybe take a moment to walk that heel in closer to your butt so you can feel a little bit of a pull, a delicious stretch across your quad. Bringing your arms in close and pulling with all 10 fingertips towards the wall in front of you. Feeling your shoulders drag down and your arms lengthen, tuck your chin. And as you exhale, bring the left knee to the chest, bend the elbow tips and clasp all 10 fingers 2 inches below the left knee. Go all the way to the webbing on all those fingers, like you're creating a tourniquet. Elbows in your waist. Inhale, tucking the chin to the throat. Elbows in your waist, elbows pulling towards your hips, and exhale, pressing on the lacing of the tourniquet, those webbed fingers guiding the left knee towards the left armpit. Relax. Notice there could be a little bit of fear, a little bit of contraction as you begin to feel some sensations in your body. Just trust that it's fine. If it's painful, you back it down to a little less pressure. But you feel that sense of pinch in the left hip, knowing that you're closing the blood supply down there for a moment. This really nice stretch deep in the right groin. I can hear some clicks in my spine here. I always think of this as little pieces of a jigsaw puzzle getting popped into place after they've been lined up perfectly. Inhale, elbows in your waist. Notice that right elbow likes to creep up over the rib cage. Play a little game with it. Bring it back down into your waist, and as you exhale, more pressure. Webbing of the fingers, tightening up, feeling yourself moving your left knee towards your left armpit. Relax into this pose. The less you resist, the easier the movement. The easier the movement, the more soothing you feel. And change. Release the left sole. Slide the left leg out. Bring your arms out to the sides. Again, far from your body. Heels lightly touching. Toes flopped apart. Collarbones wide. Chin down. Inhale, balloon your belly. Hearing that sound in your throat. And exhale, deflate the balloon. Letting your lower back drop. Oh, I just felt a big drop. And now inhale, bring your legs together. Bend both knees. Place the soles of both feet to the ground and inch your heels closer to your butt. You don't have to get them all the way in, but as you inch them in, you're going to feel this really nice stretch from your cervical spine to your tailbone. Just lie here for a moment and feel the satisfaction of that lengthening of your spine using natural human traction. No tools, no props, just you and your body. Exhaling, dropping the lower back, and as you inhale, squeeze your two legs into one strong unit and bring your arms in close to your body, pulling with all 10 fingertips. Tuck your chin. Keeping your legs squeezed tight, draw your knees to your chest. Keeping your head on the mat, bend your elbow tips and wrap your arms. And grab whatever's available. It could be fingers, wrists, forearms, elbows, upper arms. There's no better or worse place. There's only you in the present moment. And inhale, tuck your chin. Pull your collarbones wide apart. And as you exhale, squeeze your legs together. Draw your knees to your chest. And look where your knees meet. Maybe even where your arms cross. You might see a little diamond shape there if your arms are crossed. Just be curious about it. Inhale. Shoulders down, collarbones wide, chin tucked towards that little hollow space between your collarbones. Exhale, just increasing the pressure, squeezing the legs tight, drawing the knees in close. Seeing if you can tuck your chin more and more. And change. Bring your arms to your sides. Allow your knees to just rest towards your chest. Feel the sensation in your arms. It's this interesting sense of lightness, isn't it? It's almost like a tingling, but without pinpricks. It's not like a sharp tingling. It's like a glittery, floating feeling. Inhale. And exhale. Keep your eyes focused on your knees. Keep your collarbones pulled wide. Relax your hands. As you exhale, just keep dropping your lower back, feeling that hand holding you. And now inhale, turn your palms to the ground, slide your arms close to your body, and get your arms under your hips. So now your hips are on your wrists, could even be above your wrists. Squeeze your shoulder blades together under your body. It's another way of pulling the collarbones wide apart. Tuck your chin and squeeze your legs into one unit. Relax your fingers and hands under your body. As you inhale again, begin to flex your heels towards the wall in front of you. Flex your toes towards your face. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. And as you exhale, keeping your legs squeezed together, slowly raise the soles of your feet towards the ceiling. Keeping it slow, as if you're swinging out from knees to heels. Keep pulling your heels towards the ceiling and flexing the toes towards your face. Squeezing your shoulder blades together and tucking your chin. Eventually, the soles of your feet are holding the ceiling up. Rotate your knees inward. Maybe your knees are locked, maybe your knees are bent. Just observe where you are. So as you can imagine, this is a wonderful pose for anatomically relieving the blood vessels in your legs, really getting them to drain a little bit. And yet, as you pull from your heels and flex the toes towards your face, you actually are continuing to pump blood through your legs, just in a really nice, soothing way. It's a wonderful way to thank your legs for all they do, those blood vessels in your legs, giving them a rest here. Inhale, squeeze your shoulder blades together under you, tuck your chin, flex your heels to the ceiling, flex the toes towards your face, and rotate your knees inward. And as you exhale, continuing to flex from the heels, hands relaxed under you, slowly lowering your legs. Now keep your heels flexed and almost imagine that your legs are being lowered by the ankles from ropes at the ceiling. So you're being cradled by the ankles, and these ropes are slackening and allowing your legs to lower. Continue to pull from the heels, flex the toes towards the face, rotate the knees in, and you'll continue to feel light in your legs. And noticing with satisfaction the control that you have here. You're actually working against gravity, but you're not working at all. It feels easy. Inhale, flex your heels forward, flex the toes towards your face, rotate the knees in, squeeze the shoulder blades together, exhaling and floating. Enjoying this. Your soothing, your resilience is in your enjoyment. Whenever your heels touch down, lift your hips lightly, roll your arms out from under you, sliding your arms far from your body, palms facing up, heels touch, toes flopped open, and feel the sensation of soothing as you inhale. Collarbones wide, ballooning out, exhale. Deflate the balloon and drop your lower back. Notice you're able to breathe in and out, inhaling and exhaling deeper. On average, we use about 30% of our 100% lung capacity. So we can breathe a lot deeper, inhaling and exhaling, and really let those lungs kind of come out to play, right? Why use 30%? And notice what happens when you breathe deeper and you get more towards that 100% use. Notice how you feel. Inhale. And exhale. You're feeling better. Your sense of soothing and relief is the first sign that you are moving in the direction of complete well-being, physical, emotional, and in every other way that you want. Now as you inhale, bring your legs together, bend your knees, place the soles of your feet on the ground. Bring your arms in close, pull from your fingertips towards the wall in front of you, tuck your chin, squeeze your legs tight, bring your hands into prayer position in front of your chest with your elbows tucked in your waist, And draw your knees to your chest. This is all on the one inhale. And as you exhale your breath, roll your body to the right, keeping it nice and slow, wanting to be present for every little movement. Again, feeling delight in this control that you have here. Coming all the way over, and then take your prayer hands and make the little pillow. Bring your hands under the side of your cheek, under the side of your forehead, and tuck your chin to your throat, pulling your elbow tip over your body to the ground, and then tucking both elbows towards your navel, and bringing your knees in towards your chest. Relax your feet, and take a breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Tuck your chin more. And then release. Place both palms on the ground. Look at the backs of your hands, pressing into them, and press yourself back up into a seated position. Beautiful. Bring your legs out in front of you. Legs together. Flex your heels towards the wall in front of you. Flex the toes towards your face. Place your palms on your legs in a place where you can lock your arms. For me, it's below the knees. It's kind of on the shins. I'm small. I'm 5'1", and so my hands go right here on the shins for my elbows to lock. But if you're taller with longer limbs, you might find your hands more on your knees. Heels flexed, toes flexed. Rotate the knees in. Lock your elbows. Rotate them in. Pull your collarbones wide. Looking at something in front of you out of the tops of your eyes, so your chin is dropped down, your gaze is sort of up, and inhale, balloon your belly out, pull your collarbones wide, filling your ribs, really feeling like you want your lungs to expand that 100%. And as you exhale, keeping your arms locked, flexing the heels, flexing the toes, deflate your belly. Drop your lower back, your tailbone to the ground. When you're completely empty of breath, undulate that tailbone a little up towards the navel. Feel that little lift in your chest as everything stays aligned. Inhale. And exhale. We'll do a little spinal twist here. Bring your legs out in front of you again. Now bend your left knee so the left knee points forward. Sometimes when you bend the knee, you feel a little pain, so don't do that. If you feel pain, here's how you back it down. You keep that leg straight out ahead of you, flexing the heel. If bending the knee is fine, go ahead and then bring the right leg up and over so the right heel is against the left knee corner. This is true whether your left leg is straight out or it's bent. Now, if that left knee is bent, take a moment to pull the heel out. You have to settle both hips on the ground, so wiggling around until they settle. Bring your right arm behind you, flat against your spine and locked. Inhale the left arm by your ear and reach up out of your waist. Keep both hips on the ground, but you're reaching, lifting, growing up out of your waist, stretching. And then as you exhale, bend the elbow. Come down around the outside of your knee, and with your elbow, push your knee back, and with your left hand, reach down. Grab hold of the top edge of your towel or mat. If you're not sitting on a mat, you can place your fingertips on the ground to lock your arm, or you might slip your hand under your bent knee, as long as the knee stays down on the ground. And now inhale and lift your chest. And begin to pull your collarbones wide. Right away, feeling that right shoulder coming behind you. Drop your chin. And as you exhale, take a moment to settle on both hips. And then twist, move your waist. Twist, move your rib cage. Twist, move your shoulders. Right shoulder back, left shoulder forward. twist, drop your chin, and look beyond your right shoulder. And twist, and twist, and twist. And release. Back to center for a moment. Now alternating. So either bending the right knee, so the right knee points forward, or keeping the right leg straight out ahead of you, flexing from your heel. Your left leg comes up and over, so the left heel is against the right knee corner. And then taking that moment to wiggle around and make sure both hips are square to the ground. You can tell because you can't place your fingertips under either hip. So do that little test with the fingertips. Make sure you can't fit anything under the hips. Bring your left arm behind you and lock it. Bring your right arm up by your ear. Now stay grounded in your hips, but lift up out of your waist. See your ability to lengthen your waist, to really lift up and lengthen your spine. Natural human traction. Really feeling your resilience. Stretch. Feeling how soothing and satisfying this is. Stretch. And then bend your elbow down around the outside of the knee. Push the knee back. Reach your right hand down. Grab hold, top edge of your mat. Fingertips flat, elbow locked, or hand under the bent knee, arm locked. Lock both arms. Make sure that arm behind you is still locked. As you inhale, lift your chest and pull your collarbones wide apart. Feel it opening. And as you exhale, begin your twist. Hips on the ground, move your waist, move your rib cage, drop your chin, move your shoulders, and let your eyes search for whatever it is the next thing for you to see. So keep your eyes moving around as you twist, 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 and change. Back to center. Bring your legs out in front of you. Legs together. Flex your heels, flex your toes. Heels forward, toes towards your face. Elbows locked, arms locked. Palms on your shins or knees. Collarbones wide. Dropping your chin lightly. Looking at something in front of you, more out of the tops of your eyes than the centers. Lean back a little into your hips and take a breath. Inhale, flex your heels, rotate your knees. Now as you exhale, leaning into your hips, keeping your stomach sucked in, slide your palms over your knees. You're going to lower yourself to the ground, one vertebra at a time. Keep flexing your heels forward, flexing the toes towards your face. Feeling your hands slide over your thighs. Feeling yourself lower into the ground, one vertebra at a time. You keep going. I'm going to end by sitting and talking to you and talking you through your final relaxation. Lowering yourself to the ground, easy, easy, and then you're there. And now Shavasana. Release your arms to your sides, far away from your body. Palms facing up, heels lightly touching, toes locked apart, collarbones wide, chin down. And now you can close your eyes for a moment. And let's return to those 3 deep breaths that we started with. As you inhale, balloon your belly out. Hear the resonance in the back of your throat, that beautiful sound of your awakened resilience. And as you exhale, deflate your belly, emptying your belly, feeling your lower back drop into that hand, waiting to hold you under the small of your back. Inhale, balloon your belly out. Know that you have lots and lots of lung capacity for this, and slow the breathing and fill your lungs, collarbones wide. And exhale, deflate the belly, hearing the loud ha sound, and dropping your lower back. And inhale, and exhale. And this time as you drop your lower back, imagine someone has their hands on your rib cage. And as you exhale more, they press your ribs together towards the center line of your body. Allow them to do this, and empty, empty, and stay empty here for a moment. Notice how soothing it is to stay here in this space between the inhales and the exhales. And then breathing normally. And noticing how you feel. If your afternoon has some challenging conditions, if it has anything at all on your to-do list, anything from going to the supermarket to preparing your kids for a Zoom lesson, to hosting a Zoom meeting at work, to cleaning your kitchen, anything at all. Is it this person you like to bring into those situations? Especially lovely when you're wrapping around your kids. Inhale and exhale. Now, of course, we don't live in the yoga room. And so if when this practice ends, you find yourself activated again within a few minutes, it's okay. That's why this is a practice. You are building your resilience muscle. And in the beginning, if this practice is new to you, maybe that muscle holds for 30 seconds or a minute. Maybe it returns to you again and again throughout your day with little reminders. Maybe it doesn't. But for the hour that we have been here together, you have added to your resilience. And remember, resilience isn't just about being able to take a punch and come back up, or hurt yourself at a brick wall and not feel any pain. Resilience is about your ability to enjoy your life, to feel soothed as you go through whatever the outside conditions might be. So we started reading a piece from Andrew Sullivan, and I'm going to end by reading another little bit by him that I find really relevant, and I hope that you'll find some soothing as well. It's quite possible that by the end of all this, almost every American will know someone who has died. A relative, a friend, an old high school classmate. The names will pop up and migrate through Facebook as the weeks go by, and in a year's time, Facebook will duly remind you of the grief or shock you experienced. The names of the sick will appear to be randomly selected, the ones you expect and the ones you really didn't, the famous and the obscure, the vile and virtuous. And you will feel the same pang of shock each time someone you know turns out to have fallen ill. You'll wake up each morning to check to see if you have a persistent cough, or a headache, or a tightness in the lungs. This is play living, witnessing the sickness and death of others, knowing that you too could be next, even as you feel fine. The distancing things we reflexively do. Oh, well, he was a smoker. She was diabetic, you know. They were in Italy in February. These things become a little harder to believe as time goes by, and the numbers mount, and the randomness of it all sinks in. No, this is not under control. No, we are not in control of this condition, because we never were. But to that, I'd like to add that you, in this time together, in this blissful warrior practice, have regained your feeling of control, your sense of control in your own resilience, your ability to react to these conditions around us that are ever changing and always have been, and now simply seem to be more heightened. Thank you for joining me in this practice today. This is a practice that I do every day, and I love sharing it with whomever it resonates for. I hope you will write to me, comment to me, tell me how it is that you feel during this practice, afterwards, things that you might like to focus on a little bit more deeply in this practice to help certain conditions or situations in your life. I am open to practicing deeper and deeper with you here in this blissful warrior practice every day at 12:30 during the week. On Saturday mornings, I teach hot yoga at 8:30. Another beautiful practice, the physical, but every bit is meditative and grounding. And during the week, you'll find other River Flow Yoga teachers right here on this Facebook Live page, also welcoming you to their hot yoga practices. share our yoga with you. And we hope you will continue to come, continue to find this soothing inside of yourself as you practice here with us. I'm Rhonda Urensky from River Flow Yoga. Thank you. I hope to see you soon. Go out and soothe yourself into the rest of your day. Till soon.